Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this Thursday Thunderdome match between Bossfight and Dead Logic. Right, it is IVRL Season 1, Week 15, and I am your caster and only caster today, James Boak. Okay, the match should be starting shortly. We have everyone in the lobby, so let's quickly go through the bans. If I can just flick them up on the screen here. Bossfight is the home team. They banned first and last, and their two bans were Cargo and Subway, so more of the shorter range maps. Dead Logic banned Downfall and Shipyard, taking out that long range map in Downfall, and then one of the customs in Shipyard. So, jumping in to the map itself, just to check that everything is working. Alright, there it is. As you can see, we have quarantine. We have everyone in the lobby. We have the beeps going. So we should be going straight into it. Quarantine, we have this hospital objective near the ambulance. Dead Logic on defense to start, and Bossfight on attack. They're getting that northeastern spawn. So 3 spawns for this objective, 1 in the northeast, 1 in the north central, and 1 in the northwest region. They all have different advantages and disadvantages. I'd probably say this one of the 3 is maybe less advantaged, because you can't stop the cross from the defense. However, Dead Logic have not crossed. They've got 1 was on objective, now moving off. They don't have anyone stopping the straight in push from the northeast through this tank courtyard. Interesting choice here. If the attack comes through this northeast, through the tank courtyard, they can actually get onto objective without really being detected, unless I'm missing something on the defense. Maybe table 14. Novius now moving into position, which can help identify it, but cannot completely see that ambulance cross. Maybe as they go around the ambulance, table 14 will be on it. Just checking my audio is coming through well. Yes, it is. Onward audio looks like it's coming through as well. Attacking wise, good spread, as you can see from the mini-map. I bring up the map with M. You can see a good spread. Bossfight getting control of that southeastern side, and Fuselage as the widest parts on that movement. And then Overwatch from the white car in the northwest, and they're looking like they're moving towards the north roof now, which could be engaging with Nebulicious any second. So just staging up. I'll do a little bit of a zoom in, see what Navi is looking for here. Looks like Navi is looking for that. Ooh, big call out on Icy Woods. Pulling out the plane there.
Only saw 1 head.
Only 1 head though, as Navi says. Hopefully that's coming through for all of you. So, defensive setup. Navi, watching northwest. Unsure if spotted by Icy. Looks like not. And Woods 43 on that north roof may be able to spot out as well. We have Blackout looking towards the southeast, towards those dunes, protecting Novius's back. Novius watching objective. And then we have inside Furious Daddy. Probably watching towards, unsure, maybe listening, watching towards the gas station maybe, and then table 14, more central focus. So that weak spot I was talking about earlier, if I can get out this doorway, is potentially radar can do it. However, one of the movements you can make is from Blackout's now moving to cover it. Interestingly late. You could move in here and then go low and get below table 14's line of sight, and then come in through here for the cap without getting detected. There's no one covering that. I believe there's a C4 in this region. I did see someone push out early. Yeah, there is a C4 there. But that relies on very good hearing. Blackout now in position to give a bit of pre-warning on that potentially. Got to watch out for clipping here though, because he's going very low and very close to that wall. He's coming through it. Whether that's given it away to radar, unsure. Try and get a bit more of an overhead view. We believe we've got people in the southeast as well. Distraction fire coming in. Ooh, Novius eventually killing radar. Not before radar is able to kill Blackout through that clip through that wall. Big pick by Little Sayonara onto table 14. Novius now doesn't have too much protection. Little Sayonara may be able to get around onto Novius because that overwatch onto that western approach has been eliminated. Woods now moving for gas station. Navi able to get it from the roof though. That was Woods 43, I should say. Two Woods brothers playing. Furious might be trying to go for the revive here. Furious is trying to go for the revive. It's going to come down to timing. They have given up their gas station approach, and if Icy Woods does move through gas station, that's dangerous. You can send the objective, or you used to be able to send the objective from inside. Has been a little while since I've tried. So you can see the thickness there, just on the other side of this wall. Icy Woods potentially in a position to get there undetected. Revive does come out. Furious Daddy taking a hit on the way though. So Furious has now trapped himself. Can't really get out of there. Icy Woods will be the danger person. Little Sayonara needs to distract but stay alive. Looks like we could have a cap here. Novius not rotating. Icy Woods going loud. Blackout should hear it. Blackout has heard it. Little Sayonara needs to stop this. Oh, wow, big miss. Holding breath, holding breath. Oh, Icy Woods giving up on it. Wow. Bossfight. Potentially should have been 2 points for Bossfight. They do come out on top with one. Feel like that could have been a cap. But not coming out. Novius taking out 4. Taking out radar at the start. And then clearing up a bunch at the end. They're trading finally with Icy Woods. Icy Woods coming out on top. Icy with 3 from the Bossfight side. Tight, much tighter round than it looked like it was going to be. It looked like it was going to be a cap there. Icy could have gone quiet and he wouldn't have been identified. That rotation occurred once the defenders heard him running into that position. If Sayonara had just waited in a supporting position, he could have picked that rotation too, and Icy could have concentrated on the cap. Maybe a little bit of breakdown of communication or not aware of what the team's doing there on that final approach, but great work to seal it by Icy Woods, almost held by Novius. Alright, let's jump quickly into scoreboard. And I should pick map 1 is Quarantine. And we have 1 point to the home team. So very tight defense by Dead Logic there. Some gaps as we highlighted. However, ultimately Bossfight only getting the 1 point. This objective can be quite hard to defend. It really comes down to where the picks occur. Be interesting to see whether we get a different sort of setup on defense by Bossfight here as we jump back into it. Doesn't look like my overlay is going on the scoreboard. I'll try and fix that next round, but just in case I do forget to have it up, at least you have that preview window. So, very different spawn here. So you got the really short, probably the shortest spawn. Let's see where the Bossfight try and push out. It looks like they're going to do the cross. 3, 4, 4. That's a lot of utility expenditure for that cross and that push out. Looks like they're going to push into Tank Courtyard. Dead Logic are moving up to try and get early lines. Icy Woods should be able to see some of this. Navi, big pick onto Icy though. He will be calling out. Smoke, M203 smoke coming out. Four committed to the southwestern approach. One holding back by the tail of the plane. Icy Woods has been revived. Will be a danger person unless picked by Na'vi again. Shots should come out into that region. It's a pre-fire location. Defensive wise, no real rotation from radar and Little Sayonara. However, those positions will be very powerful as long as this gas station approach can be shut down. Looks like radar head does have a little bit of a line through there to the gas station. However, it's a very quick line, very momentary in terms of what it can hold. Big pick by Bossfight, down and killed. No revive coming out for that one. No spread, very different attacking approach. So you look at the overhead here, you can see, including the death, you can see that instead of the wide spread, which Bossfight did, very concentrated attack, trying to come in through that tight approach from the gas station. If defense identifies this, it's very hard to do anything. You get trapped. Trying to use the smoke to give cover. Archer finding a pick through the smoke. Na'vi now rotating into the north, just south of North Roof at the moment. Try and get an overview from this side. Furious Daddy going for that revive onto table 14. Set up, so they're got multiple angles that they're trying to clear. Radar got a crossing line. Big pick by Blackout onto radar though. That does weaken the attack. Little Sayonara needs to be the front side defense. If Blackout goes along the front side rather than inside here, it looks like he's going to go inside. If he goes along the front side, he can get onto objective. He just needs to stick tight to this wall. Little Sayonara now picked. Defense has to adjust. Looks like it's attacking favored now, especially with Na'vi now having control of tank courtyard. Icy is the only one covering this. Oh, and he's poking out. Interesting choice. Hospital approach is not covered anymore. Icy last person. Needs to be aware of this. Attack, I'm not sure if attack has a good kill count. Ooh, not sure if the pick by Icy is going to end up being a good thing. This could be a cap, if I hadn't identified. He is now rotating. And gets picked. Again, potentially a better result for the defense than what it was looking like at one point in time. Na'vi with, I believe, 2 or 3 picks that round, because there was 4 from Novia's last round. Great picks from the initially downing Icy Woods as well, removing a lot of his health. Yeah, much different round. Defense pushing out a lot more, attack being a lot more concentrated. Ultimately, that wider line taken by Na'vi potentially being the difference on the attack. Let's check out the next objective. One of the newer objectives, not in the newest bunch, but newer than the original releases, I believe. We have fuselage. So this, I believe you can still send the objective from the outside on the south, which defense needs to be aware of. Unsure whether you can still send the objective from the outside on the north side as well. It used to be the case. You had to hold your tablet up against it. You really want to not let the defense get too close, or the attack to get too close to this. You see good attacks coming in from getting this western control through gas station. You see attacks coming around from the west and coming around from the backside onto it. Attacks coming through the impact building, so this building to the north of the objective. Lots of different approaches. We'll see how Bossfight do it. We'll see how Dead Logic set up their defense here. Let's jump into it. Bossfight have gotten the southeastern spawn. Not too many early lines they can get. They can get control of hospital before Dead Logic can. So I believe some people call the hospital parking garage. It's that building in the south with the ambulance out the front of it. Blackout looking like he's moving for burning building, so central building control. Navi up on impact building balcony. Table 14, unsure. Navi engaging across the map. Trying to lock down that cross to the north, however it has been successful for 2 of Bossfight. Ooh, big movement. Just trying to get a zoomed out approach. Let's go look and see what radar head's going to be trying to do with blackout here. Looks like there's going to be an early engagement. We do also have Little Sayonara in support in the south, but radar is pretty offset forward. Blackout's going to be a hard position to deal with, but I don't think there's going to be anyone else in support from Dead Logic unless Novius now peaks. Looks like Novius is going for the peak. It's going to come down to whether Blackout hears radar and calls for that support from Novius. Radar needs to aggress this corner if he's going to go for it. Wow, not ready for Blackout's position. Very dark in that corner. Doesn't clear the corner fully. And getting picked because of it. Next engagement we have potentially coming out. Icy Woods coming down through impact. Table 14 I believe will be the designated person for that. Maybe Furious Daddy depending on the location and line which Woods takes. Other attack, we had a quick look at the overhead, staging up on north roof, another attacker coming to join as well, and then Little Sayonara in the south, just holding for now. They really need to get a pick here in order to enable the movements. And there's that pick from Icy Woods, big pick onto Blackout. Blackout just getting a little bit too exposed and burning and getting taken out. So back to a 4v4. This objective becomes very hard to defend as you get down to 3 defenders remaining. With 4, it's still you can still rotate, you can still make sure you have that second person to cover. With 3, if the attackers move based upon a pick, it's very hard to then shore your defense, and you get into panic rotations and cascading collapse. Furious Daddy trying valiantly to defend from his tucked in location here. However, now that he's identified, it will be relatively either easy for the attack to take out or hard to rotate out of. Big call out. Woods aware that there's one underneath him now. Little Sayonara, no, taking out Woods. Woods 43, that is. That could prove critical. Icy Woods in the same location as Little Sayonara are going to shoot Icy Woods as well. We'll find out. Oh, big pick. Big 2 picks. Oh, that was the same player. Navi could be critical. Navi needs to hit these shots though. Navi gets it. We have a cap coming out. Archer taken out by Novius. Comes down to Icy Woods on attack. Yet again, can he deal with the last 2? Do they know where he is? Navi moving back onto objective. Novius also there. Icy Woods can drop down from above or can creep in from this through this inside area. He's just going to wait for defense to do a few rotations. He'll be listening.
Okay, one by the way. Yep.
Now, how critical is that pick on Woods 43 by Little Sayonara going to end up being? Woods now choosing to come down, making noise. Putting smoke out, giving it his way position, potentially rotating out because of that. Flashes into the smoke. They'll be worried about someone being in that smoke. But they were in the position to do that. Big pick. 1 bullet. Didn't have the gun loaded. I don't know why only 1 bullet, but apparently Navi only needs 1. A little bit anticlimactic there. Potentially it was looking like it should have gone Bossfight's way. Miscommunication maybe, some picks not quite coming out, allowing that rotation by Navi to pick Little Sayonara, rotation up to the north coming in. Potentially caused by Woods 43 going down. If Woods 43 has been up, not killed, then maybe Icy Woods would have been offset back still, would have stopped that rotation to the north. Who knows? I don't. What I do know is that's another point for the away team. Big defensive hold. It's a hard one to defend. So if Dead Logic have a good solid attack like their last attack, then we could see them going up 3-1. Fortunately, I don't believe we have predictions or bets or whatever you want to call it with your precious Twitch points. I don't know how to set that up. Whether there's someone else who can set it up watching, unsure. Right. Again, getting quite a different attacking spawn here. Dead Logic getting the northeastern spawn. Last time they got the close spawn for the last objective. This time they got probably a slightly further away spawn. Less ability to control zones. They are sending 3 north, 2 south. And which is more split than their previous attack. Defensive wise, we have Little Sayonara and Icy Woods trying to move to get that north control. However, Dead Logic will have control of that region and will have been able to cross into that north before Icy Woods and Little Sayonara are in position. Woods 43 designated impact person. Person's staying inside impact, I mean, rather than the other meaning of that. Archer, much more outward focused from this burning building. Tucking in, using the shadows, focusing out over these walls, and then radar being south control. More spread out, can work really well in terms of holding zones, however, it's much harder to rotate based upon. So if you do start to get collapses occurring, you've got big rotations required by this northern crew especially. Woods 43 should be designated to stay alive, because he's most likely to have to rotate. However, he's getting a little bit peaky, and that impact building is a hot zone. I believe that lays will be Navi's. Let's go and see. It's Novius's. Navi has been the long gun person. Oh, no, maybe it is. It's Navi's now. Let's see what Navi is running. Only a 4x with that suppressed M16A4. By running suppressed in that loadout, I believe marksman class, there will be no ability to run AP rounds, so it's a 10 damage rifle, no AP rounds, probably running on single shot. If you don't hit the head, it's going to take a lot of shots to take out someone in a chest. 3 shots will be absorbed by body armor, or 2.6 shots, and then the third shot will do a little bit of damage. Be 4 or 5 shots to actually kill someone. Quite hard to land with the sniper type class. Icy Woods taking out 2 players in the north, blunting that north attack. The attack trying to come through this really tight zone here and both dying. This is such a focal point for defense. So defensive wise, they got this cross cover defense. Icy Woods looking towards that choke point, and then Little Sayonara protecting Icy Woods from someone coming up through the north roof region, which is really the danger for Icy Woods position. Try and be a little bit smoother with camera work. I'm still learning. I've just learned that you can actually slow things down using combination keys. Like this. Ooh. I'll get there. Let's have a little look at Novius's loadout. Novius running the SCAR-L, or M Mark 16, maybe it's called? I believe it's called. Not 100% sure. 5.56 rifle, and I believe it does 11 damage. Slightly slower fire rate than the AK-5C, and costs 1 point extra. However, some players do prefer to run it.
Echo 2, killed one in the south, next to the propane tank.
Big call out by Radar Head there. Correct call out too, Echo 2. They know that there's 2 enemies remaining. Novius is going to have trouble with Icy Wood here, and Woods 43. We'll just quickly see whether Navi is getting an Overwatch position, but that Overwatch position really needs to have other people attacking in.
Tanks in front of the...
3 shots coming out from Navi onto Icy Woods, resulting in a kill. Potentially limb shots or lower chest shots being better if you're coming up against body armor. All down to Novius.
Echo 1, Beta 4.
Icy Woods' position going down was a danger for Novius. Woods 43 is peeking though and has seen Novius. They know it's Echo 1, meaning 1 enemy, and Beta 4, so 3 friendlies up. Sorry, 4 friendlies up, so they should be just, yep, encircling and dealing with.
So many angles.
Radar definitely said it. That guy was so dead from so many angles. Yep, as soon as they knew where Novius was trapped. Big open spaces to rotate through. Tried to go back. Burning was going to shoot in the back. Tried to go sideways. Woods 43 was going to kill. Yep, Radar Head even had a line through here. Yep, no hope. Unfortunate that the other players went down because that position, that movement, if had other attacking people, can be quite powerful. Let's jump onto scoreboard and get these scores corrected. So we've got 2 for each team. That means, with 2 for each team, we are going to a new objective, and a more traditional objective, burning objective. The surrounds of burning have changed a little bit. The fire has been put out as well. You can still send the objective from the east side of this wall if you come up to this wall, or you used to be able to. They have been shuffling the objectives around slightly to try and balance things. You used to be able to send the objective from just here, which is hard to defend because you really need to stop the stop the attack making this move around the cockpit, because you can go around the cockpit and jump over these walls and down, or you can come around this wall, crouch, work your way in through here, or you can cross from tank courtyard. Lots of ways in. Defensive wise, potentially a more spaced out defense, trying to hold that cross. It's alright, just getting the overlay gone. From the hospital, you can watch that cross, quite a powerful position. You often see setups which have two or more defenders in the hospital looking across to the north. And then getting north control as well can be also powerful. If you get north control, you can look down across the map again. Looks like they are doing that sort of setup. 2 defenders going to the hospital, 1 staying on objective just in case things do break down. There's that person who can react close range, and then 2 up an impact. Navi looking more southeast corner, and Furious Daddy looking across this same position Furious took up for the fuselage defense, just tucked in this behind this little defilade here, and ready to pounce. Thought Navi's laser was on Furious for a second then, however it was just in a rest position. Attacking wise, 4 in the north, and then Radar lone wolfing it down in the southeast. Radar's going to have to deal with blackout here. This corner is a danger one. And giving away his position, potentially a good thing, and then going to rotate back for the safe cross. Radar very aware of Blackout's position. Very hard to deal with due to the darkness back there. The Volk uniform blending in, and Marsok uniform. Radar doing the safe across. If you come across straight across here, it's very hard to defend this cross here unless you have good north control. Na'vi will be a problem because they have let Na'vi get into this very powerful underneath wing position. If unidentified, you can see a lot from up there. I'll zoom over there in a sec once we see this cross by radar. Radar going quite wide here. Nice approach. Just stay using the roof of this garage portion of the hospital. Just keep low. He's now in this building south of hospital. Didn't quite get to Na'vi in time. Na'vi's strong position up here, proving powerful indeed. Woods 43 trying to engage, I believe. No, that's Icy Woods. They should know that Na'vi is here now. Na'vi just needs to stay alive and eat that time up.
Do we have someone in hospital?
They will be rotating hard for it. Archer just laser trained onto Na'vi's position.
Do we have someone in hospital? No, I mean a front.
One second, just going to leave this. Sorry about that. Na'vi getting picked. Fortunately on my screen, I don't know who it was, but I just had to reply to something. Right, so great encirclement by the two Woods brothers in the north. Archer coming across this main road to get tank courtyard control, and Radar head in the hospital having to deal with Novius. Novius should be very aware of Radar's position here. Should be hearing the movement. Looks like Radar's aware there's someone here too though.
Must be a second one in hospital somewhere. I hear noises.
Big frag, big frag. Oh, not quite long enough. Radar's aware of this. He should know that Archer's approach is pretty strong. If Radar just stays alive with Novius, it's a great distraction. Archer's going to be very hard to deal with. Furious Daddy, I don't believe can see it. Let's have a little look to see. Yep, Archer's past the point in which Furious Daddy can see it. Table 14's the only one who can really react onto it, but Table 14's is moving out to try and control that zone. And is peeking out. But Archer could have the line. Radar just needs to keep this distraction up. Radar doing a great job missing his shots there. Novius dying, but in trying to establish control again, it's too late. The smoke's potentially giving away Archer's approach. However, Archer should be able to get this. We'll find out whether he can do it from here. Holding my breath again. There it is. Archer puts it in. Good movement. Great distraction in the south by Radar. Potentially the smoke's not being the thing you want because that does trigger a clear of the objective by the defense, but smokes do come out. Archer getting that cap. Some great vision by Archer to make that move. Very individualistic it looked like. It didn't look like it was too planned. Archer just methodical movement, knowing the hole, knowing how hard it is to defend that movement across, especially with the pick in hospital by Radar. As soon as that pick in hospital occurred, Archer knew that it was really hard for the defense to hold this street and moved in such a line that didn't go too far north to expose to potential people in impact. As Archer moved across here, you could see that Archer's laser was trained on where Furious Daddy was, and then as soon as Archer got to the point where it was covered, moving in, straight in, nice and slow, not panicking, not making noise, not rushing, and getting that cap. Great work. Big, big, big two-pointer for Bossfight. Jump into Silverwood, see how things are going. Let's add 2 more to Bossfight. So now Dead Logic have to attack this objective. As we talked about, this objective is quite attackable. It really comes down to getting whether you can get those picks on those outer defenders. If you are able to encircle it well, then and sort of get through those outer perimeters, then you can. It's certainly attacking bias. Got some beeps, but not jumping into it quite yet. And it's like we'll be jumping into it now. Okay, let's see what goes down here. Very much different spawn here. Probably the closest spawn. Dead Logic can get North Control before Bossfight can, if Bossfight do so choose to get there. Looks like we've got a similar sort of defensive split here. 2 going south, 2 going into impact, and then leaving 1 on objective. Defensively very similar. Attacking wise, not really going for that impact control. Interesting choice. Maybe going based upon plans in the tent rather than adjusting based on spawn. You can get impact, and by that I mean from this north spawn you can cross and get into this impact region where Blackout is now and the west side of the map before the defense can set it up, and you can often get behind the defense there. Blackout now going slow, Navi holding. Have a little look at the overhead. Relatively compressed attack, like more spread out than their first attack, but still in that one sector, not going wide for the rotation around. However, as you look at the arrows from the defense, they're not really watching to that northeastern region, so the cross to tank courtyard should very much be possible. They need to, as Bossfight did, dealing with this south control is important. First shots coming out will give away locations. Navi with the Mark 16 this round. Potentially not with the 4 times. Nope, running a holographic this time, but maybe a bit closer objective. Choosing the Mark 16 as well, interesting choice. AK-5C, which Blackout is running, probably being the most common rifleman weapon used on Marsok. Let's have a look at loadouts. Novius running the Mark 16 previously. Running the Mark 18, which is a specialist class. The reason being having that M203 launcher on the bottom, either a smoke or a HE grenade in there. Costs a lot of points and removes the ability to have a foregrip, which does increase the recoil of your weapon, but if you're using precise shots, that can work out really well. In that case, not working out. Icy Wood's taking a bullet or 2, however, surviving, likely due to body armor. Big frag, big flash even. Is Icy Wood's going to push on that? I don't know if Blackout actually was flashed then. Blackout was not flashed. AK-5C superiority against... Ooh, great gun as well. AK-12. Similar weapons. Probably the most popular bulk weapon there in terms of rifleman class. Table 14 onto radar head. That's a massive pick in the south. It looks really good for Dead Logic's setup here. Little Sayonara is going to be critical. Little Sayonara will have to crash onto objective. They're very aware that death is much more preferred than getting capped on. Table 14 also with the AK-5C. And to close out the last of the attackers, we have an M249, great suppression weapon. Yep. Little Sayonara, good positioning here to control this part of the cross. However, as if they did the exact same move as Archer did right now, they could get the cap without anyone being aware. Archer will be able to hear it, and we'll be listening very closely, ear against this wall, to hear whether anyone does creep up. Even a breath could give it away there. But if they get in there and kill Archer, then Little Sayonara is too far away to rotate. So if they came in from this north side especially, around... Oh, big pick, big pick. We do have a laser from this north. This north player potentially should come in around the cockpit and then try and get that pick onto Archer and go for that cap. Big pick, they should move now. Moving based upon the pick, not occurring. Go for the kill instead. Maybe not having a good kill count right there, and maybe not knowing where the defenders were being the difference. But they won the attack. Maybe an objective with slightly more attacking bias, but they did win the attack. Is that? I'm unsure, but that might be... Has that been every attack's one? No, the defense of the fuselage was successful. Attacks on the other objective have been won though. Alright, boss fight. Attacking around... Oh, this is the objective Dead Logic probably didn't want to see. The spawns for this objective are brutal. Brutal for the defense, I mean. Defense spawns out the west side. Somewhere back here, I believe back here. Quite far from the objective. And then an attack can spawn in the hospital, really close. If they get the hospitals, which they have. Wow. They have seen it. Let's jump into this round. We don't want to miss this. Let's see where the boss fight go aggressively for this.
Dude, you're on 10 fucking kills. You're good. Play your game.
They can push so hard here. Get control of burning. Get control of cockpit. Stop the defense getting any eastern side control. They are pushing further west than you might see. Well, Icy Woods moving for that burning control. Only one going for it though. The rest going more up this western approach through Twins. Not fully pushing. Not pushing right to cockpit to get this rotation out. Blackout, great picks by Blackout. Potentially more commonly in comp type play, which is a little bit more relaxed. You see this more aggressive movement to this cockpit region. And from the cockpit region, it's really hard to defend a movement through here. As you see through here, no one on the defensive side actually able to see this. The straight movement all the way through here and then crawling up this wall.
I heard two.
There's actually no one able to identify that. Blackout now moving into position. The shots coming out from Icy Woods. Eventually getting Blackout. Navilicious now moving. However, still no defense able to stop this cap. Is there a C4 out there? Is there something out there?
Too open here. It's too runway.
Flashes frag, they're relying on their hearing? Potentially relying on hearing in this scenario. Big revive as well coming out onto Woods 43. Meaning that Bossfight now have 4 up against 4 defenders. Definitely attacking bias. 4v4. That's where you need to confirm your bodies. Blackout, unsure whether Blackout could see the body. Just put in a couple of extra rounds into that body when it goes down. Make sure that they're properly dead. Staging wise, Archer now joining Icy Woods to do the slightly delayed movement through burning. You can see Woods just trained on the objective, waiting for Novius to peek that. Novius has to peek it, because there could be someone moving up through that region. Navilicious is still very far from the objective. Dedicated to that north. Table 14 maybe moving into position to help this push eastern onto the objective. Help stop it, I mean. Sit back and see what happens here. Archer potentially being the danger person. M203 frag? Or was that a great actual frag grenade? Let's have a little look. No, must be an actual frag grenade. Great throw there by Little Sayonara up onto, I believe it was Furious Daddy's position or Novius' position up top. Furious Daddy probably.
Yeah, don't pick that.
Woods 43 and Little Sayonara will be creating... Ooh, big pick by Navi. So that rotation by Navi, perfect. To get that control now of that east side of that objective. Because the attack took a little bit too long coming through there, it meant that Navi was able to get in this position and now can protect this eastern side. Obviously, as we say every time, we have caster vision. We can see these holes. However, potentially something the attack should have gone for is getting that north control so that this rotation couldn't occur. Ooh, Navi choosing to go in the front side of that air vent, getting picked by Little Sayonara. Again, the revive's going to come out. 3v3, very much with all the defenders compressed on objective. No one watching this east approach. Definitely in the attacking favor now. Archer potentially being the danger. Little Sayonara also capable of capping. Bossfight will be aware that they only need 1 point. Maybe that's their reason for not going for this cap. They should know that's a trade. Beta 2, but no call out saying that it should be a trade. The reason they should know that's a trade is because the shots stopped at exactly the same time. It's unlikely, if one player is still alive, that they're going to fire, 3 shots and then no more. If you're gonna kill someone, you often just keep shooting after they finish shooting, after you've killed them, because it takes a little while for your brain to tell you to stop shooting. Smoke's coming out. Will alert the defense that this cap is coming out. But no real reaction, interestingly. They're playing like they got a C4 somewhere. I don't know how defense is able to cover this. But again, a trade. Shots finishing exactly the same time. Little Sayonara should know this. Now Novi's rotating, panicking a bit more. Little Sayonara's just going to look for the pick here. Making a lot of noise. Wow, boss fight coming out on top. Little Sayonara aggressing it. I believe Little Sayonara certainly got 2 critical picks, one on Navilicious on the roof there. Got a couple of revives, I believe, that round. 2 revives, and then getting that final kill. Big round, big map. Boss fight winning 5-3. Interestingly, that scoreline is relatively close. There is ability for Deadlogic to win the match because it's all decided based upon total points. So, yeah. Be interested to see how this map 2 goes. Expect to see something a lot closer range, maybe Suburbia, based upon the bans, but we'll see what comes out. Arctic is in the map pool as well, so maybe we'll go for that. Let's jump to the scoreboard. So, as we say, boss fight coming out on top of map 1. They are still in the lobby. Unsure whether they're just going to pass host or whether they're going to rehost. It'll be Deadlogic's map, and it'll be Deadlogic's chance to host the map. It looks like they are rehosting, so we will jump into an intermission, and I'll be right back with map 2. Alrighty then, we're back. And guess what? It's Suburbia. We have Dead Logic's map pick here, Suburbia, a shorter range map, and I will just choose map 2. There it is. Starting out 0-0. Clean slate. See whether Dead Logic can win by a better margin than 5-3. If they do win 5-3, then it'll be a tie, and there'll be minimal SRS shift. The ranking is done using a formula called SRS, and essentially it's determined based upon the rank of the team you're playing, how many points you win by, whether you win a map each, or whether you win both maps. They all come into play. Okay then. Looks like we're just waiting for Radar Head to join the lobby. Hopefully be in shortly. Everyone else is in. Sounds like today was Lonely Viper's birthday. Happy birthday, Lonely Viper. A whole hour to play. That's generous to say the least. It did say my co-caster was going to be awkward silence, so it'd be unfair for me not to let them talk for a little bit. Oh, birds tweeting, leaves going. I might have to jump into this map and have a little look around. 24 grey coming in instead. Maybe Radar had designated longer range type player. We'll have now that everyone's in the lobby, we'll have a quick look at the objective, listen to the birds, listen to the burning building. We have the garage objective. Very capable if you do get across the street onto it, because you can send the objective from the outside. The back here, I believe you used to be able to send the objective from the top upstairs. On the side here, I believe you can do it. Out front, you can do it. Really hard to defend if you let them get into this front yard. However, defense does spawn out front. More ability to push out and get control of the middle of the map. You often see a couple staging up in this central mansion, middle objective building, and looking back to sort of cover those crosses in, looking back to the lane 3-4 region and looking back to the lane 1-2 region. Speaking of lanes, so if you look at the map from an overhead, I know most of you people watching this will know this, however, for people who are new to Onward, if you look at the map, there's sort of a lane, there are lanes on this map, in that there are lines people can take running north to south across the map. And as you go from left to right, they're labelled lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, and lane 4. Lane 2 being between to the left side of that middle mansion, and lane 3 being to the right side of it, and 1s and 4 being on the outskirts. To show them in game, lane 1 is coming down through here, lane 2 down through this region. Whoop, there's a little jump there as they load in. Lane 3 through this region, then lane 4 down the side of the bus. This region here. Playground control, quite critical. Middle mansion control, quite critical. This lane across the map, this cross lane here, you see a lot going on here in terms of defense, trying to get lines across it often if they play a more pushed out defensive style, and attack will be looking to get control of that as well. Attack wise, there are 2 spawns, one in the northeast, one in the northwest. So Dead Logic there did get the northeastern spawn. Bossfight have gone for 2 in the middle mansion. However, they are not looking back yet. They are more outwardly focused. Icy Woods watching this lane 4 direction, knowing that it's unlikely that a defender's attacker is going to come through the lane 3. However, there isn't anyone watching lane 3 at the moment. And Woods 43 looks like is designated to watch down towards this lane 1 Humvee, not Humvee, sorry, lane 1 APC type vehicle. Little Sayonara in a more of an ambush position in the middle mansion. I can't get through that window apparently. Let's jump onto Little Sayonara. Very much ambushing here. Running no sights. Investing that potentially in utility. Running flash. Surely a frag as well. Maybe not. Running an iron-sighted... Is that 104? Looks like it could be. That, if it's a 104, he's potentially got a C4 then, somewhere.
One on the north, the centre house.
Ooh, taking a hit. That body armor potentially coming into play there. Those extra points allowing the body armor use.
Downed on lane 2. Only downed.
Big call out saying only downed. Correct call out as well. Great pick by Navi, getting the cross. If unidentified by the middle house, Navi could get some really close engagements here. Blackout getting the pick on Little Sayonara. If Woods doesn't shut it down, there will be ability to revive Novius as well. Blackout coming into a danger position here through this window. The trade. Novius should be able to call that out, should have seen it. Not clear for the revive. Grey is now watching over. Big pick by Archer looking across the map. They should go for the res here. 3v2 attacking wise. Even though the attackers are offset a little bit, it's worth doing here. The res coming out. Table 14. If Grey peeks here, they could be in trouble, but Grey not peeking over. So they're down to the front side defense. Attack should be very aware of Grey's position. It is powerful, however it is common. A single frag onto this location, you can clear it out, some pre-fire onto it as you breach through, a flash, then movement. The problem with the flash then movement is Archer's position comes into play as a protector. Just peeking through a really tight little spot here underneath this curtain. That smoke will have blinded Archer pretty effectively. Smoke vertically does blind more than you might see on your screen. So Archer therefore having to move out of position a little bit. Furious Daddy creeping up. Archer able to pick table 14 through that tight line though. The flash not coming out correctly onto 24 Grey's position. Novius trying again with the frag. Too long. Oh, I thought it was too long, but the cooking was perfect. If it hadn't been cooked perfectly, it would have rolled on and probably Grey would have been safe. But not working out. Archer not aware. Archer rotating in. If Novius commits too much here, Novius should go down the side. Novius going straight into objective. Archer clearing. Wow. Not 100% sure, but I believe, as I said before the round, I believe you can cap from the outside here, which may have been the less likely position for Archer to clear. But ultimately, Archer's defense there, critical in the success of Bossfight's round. Archer with 4 kills. 4 kills there. Wow. That looked like it was Dead Logic's round all the way. Well, not all the way, but certainly for the last minute or so. So we have 1 point for Bossfight. Every point Bossfight gets is critical. Even if they lose this map, as I said, they managed to get to 3, they've at least tied. They managed to get to 4, they've won the match. Ultimately, you do want to win both maps though, because that does help in ranking. There's definitely a war zone with those birds chipping. I hope they come through in the scoreboard menu. I'm not sure if they do. It does sound like they do. I can see from the OBS. Furious Daddy and Blackout doing all the work on Dead Logic's attack there, however just unable to get that last kill. Looks like we're jumping into it. Bossfight getting the other spawn, so we talked about the northeast spawn. This is the northwest or lane 1 spawn. Let's see how they deal with it here. Defensive wise, let's see what they do defense. Looks like they're only going to push 2 out. 1 less than Bossfight. Nope, Navi is pushing, just a little bit delayed. Blackout going aggressively up here. Should get an engagement. I'll try and get in. Whoop. No, not quite. Wow, great grenade by Novius. Insta-kill. Novius straight through onto the lane 2. As you see on the overhead, Novius just fragging this, without vision I believe, fragging this really common position here. Blackout with that pick as well. Great way to start the round. We have some leaves falling. Woods getting picked by Blackout, framed by the shot of the trees. Beautiful. So it's all down to Icy Woods and 24 Grey.
One to Humvee in the west.
Big pick from the slide here by Icy Woods. There should have been a line Blackout was prepared for. They knew that they'd blunted or eliminated the lane 1 push. Should have been thinking, yep, they're probably in lane 3, 4, and they're probably looking for me right now. Where would they be? Slide. And indeed, slide. Woods just trying to clear as much as possible. The problem with clearing some slide, it is a focal point defensive-wise. Table 14's shots coming out into that region, however, not connecting. Maybe able to see that cross slightly? No, I think it's just a blind fire through the wall. Objects, penetrable objects like these fences and stuff, you can kill through them. However, they do reduce damage. Each layer which you go through counts as a 0.25 reduction, so a 25% reduction in damage. If you go through, I believe you go through 3 layers, it's no longer going to do any damage to the player. Let's just get a bit of an overview. Because this is going to be so rotation heavy, I believe, we'll try and get an overview to see what these rotations are. Defensive wise, not going searching for these kills, just tucking in, trying to help out each other with their lines. Both sides should have a clean kill count. The only difference would maybe be if Novius was unaware of the grenade kill. Big pick by Icy Wood onto Navi's position. The problem with Navilicious' position there is relatively common. I think Icy potentially taking a hit there. Navi being downed. Body must have flown out of cover. Good confirm from Icy Woods. Grey going in onto Novius' position.
One on the middle house.
Grey aggressing, coming out on top. Very hard to deal with aggression like that when you're in a stationary position. Big 2 picks by Icy and Grey, not panicking, being methodical, rotating, but now bunching up a little bit middle house.
Can you... Yeah, I got 1 smoke.
Big random flash coming out from table 14, maybe thinking that they're going to be crossing the street. Very similar to defensive positions to the last round, I believe, with Archer and 24 Grey. However, Archer's position, which was taken by Furious Daddy, getting picked by Icy Woods, potentially overexposing, not quite using it as compressed as Archer did. .24 Grey being alive should be very aware of this table 14 position because like his numbered enemy, it was used. .24 Grey potentially going to try and pre-fire this. No. Pre-fire should be an option here. Big smoke coming out. Perfectly blocking that line of fire. Is that a frag? It's not, it's a flash, but doesn't matter. 24 Grey able to take that shot from lane 4 across to the garage and getting the round for Bossfight. Great way to start the map for Bossfight. Not so good for Dead Logic, especially because the previous round could have gone the other way. That round, great start by Blackout. Blackout taking 3, I believe, 2 out, and then Novius with 1 with the frag to start the round with 5 versus 2. However, then just collapsing a little bit, crumbling the rotations and methodical clearing by I'm going to say, yeah, Icy Woods, not Woods 43, Icy Woods and 24 Grey coming out on top. There's too much wood on this map. Alright, so we have 2-0 start on Dead Logic's map pick by Bossfight. They have placed these... Yes, they have placed these very carefully with no damage to the grass around. Maybe they've been there for a while. Maybe the grass has grown back. I don't know. I don't know what the reason for these HESCO placements are from a lore perspective. L-O-R-E. Alright. Anyways.
Steam begins with 765, right?
As we're jumping into it, we have one of the newer objectives. This map is playing from east to west now rather than north to south. Most of the traditional objectives are more north to south play. This is east to west. There are 2 spawns for attack on this one. Attack getting a slightly further spawn out. Defense wise, pushing across to get control of the south side of it, and the rest being north side of the street. Icy Woods getting a pick from the far northeast, I believe, in this push position here. Yes, it was correct. Fragging over into a blank zone, and then looking to be a nuisance back there.
1 lane 3 playground area.
Calling out the lane 3 as well. Navalicious getting Overwatch control from the middle mansion. Just looking through that window, trying to pick out Archer and Little Sayonara. They should stay pretty compressed. They're unlikely to get a pick from that location, and very silhouetted in that window. One of the first places Archer and Little Sayonara will look if they do choose to peek. Woods 43 just tucking in behind one of these concrete bollards. Believe those are bollards or something, barriers. Oh, these ones are HESCOs. They may have been poured in place.
Apologies, kids, I'm not watching 3 anymore.
I go for it.
Good communication calling out when they do come off a line. Blackout, big pick onto Archer here. Oh, that frag could have been great. Black, not needed though. Blackout able to get that pick. Icy Woods finding table 14. The adjustment coming out by the defense. Woods crossing and Icy Woods crossing exactly the same time. There's some brotherly timing right there. Woods is going to really aggress this position though. Coming out on top. Novia's flashing. And good clear. Navilicious finding Icy Woods. The two push-out defenders going down. 24 Grey, the only one up. Probably in the right position as the last defender. It's risky, but can hold the objective. Giving away position potentially there, though. This should go the way of the attack. However, a rotation would be useful. That smoke coming out. They're looking to cap it, it looks like. 24 Grey, getting close in. Will get exposed. When that smoke does die out, Novia should see 24 Grey there. Using the smoke though. Wow, that flash. Woo! Dead Logic coming out on top. That got closer than Dead Logic would have liked. It did look like, to be fair though, at the start it did look like Bossfight had it. This map in particular is swinging back and forth aggressively. Every round so far hasn't really gone the way it was initially looking like it was going to go. Initially it looked like Bossfight had that really locked down on defense, and then Dead Logic swinging it back, but only just winning it. Right, go to the scoreboard. 1 for Dead Logic. Dead Logic still have the ability to win the match. Same objective. Dead Logic now on defense. We'll see if we see a similar sort of defensive setup. As a reminder, we had 2 just south of the objective but close, and then the remaining 3 from Bossfight were spread out along this north street, pretty much even spread. 1 at lane 1, 1 sort of lane 2, and then 1 between lane 3 and lane 4. Scoreboard wise, 5 kills for Icy Woods on Bossfight's side and 5 kills for Blackout on Dead Logic's side. Archer with 4 and an amazing hold on that first round. So we jump back into it. So here we see the other spawn, and what's of interest here, and you see it used more in EU, at least maybe I've just watched more EU matches, is this pre-fire line which Icy Wood is going to use. So he's Icy Wood's going to shoot right through here, and the defense is going to struggle to get onto objective. There it is. They would have been aware of it. Navi going the more circumspect, circuitous method to get there. Might be using English wrong there, but I'll allow it. What do you think, Co-Caster? Oh, yeah. Alright, attacking spread-wise. Wood's still up in that spawn house, just sort of giving some lines through. Massive pick. I didn't look like table 14 was peeking there, but maybe just that pre-fire coming out. Maybe table 14 did peek and then tuck back in. Woods 43 finding that line through. I see Woods great line here
Just confirmed it.
from White Car, just confirming Woods 43 needs to be ready for blackouts to peek here. Not going to be ready. Relatively common defensive spot, and I believe a spot which Icy Woods took last round, so would have thought Icy Woods would have been aware as soon as the shot's coming out to pivot the line of sight, just to watch for that peak. So 4v4, defense very much south side, quite pushed out side as well. Navi's position in particular, one you don't see too often, or again, not someone who watches Suburbia too much, so maybe it's the most common spot ever. But it looks good. Just looks like it's a close quarters type spot here. Ambushing type spots. Same with Furious Daddy. More on the just tucking behind this Hesco, ready to pop up. Also able to look back relatively quickly towards the objective. As you see that little peek over. Blackout being the only north side control, and does look like they're going to go for the north side control with potentially all the smokes in existence. Oh, big trade there. Or no, big pick by Furious Daddy onto Archer, and then little Sayonara finding Furious Daddy in that little pop-up position. Was that a shot through the head, or did looks like Furious Daddy pushed out to get that kill? We did get a hit onto Novius through the hedges, I believe, or you did hear an injure sound. Woods 43 and 24 Grey moving along the north side. Blackout Dead Logic looks like it's very aware of this. Oh, this should come the peak here. Wow, Woods 43 finding another through the wooden penetrable surfaces. Able to get into concealment but not cover there, Blackout. Potentially wanting to rotate back a little bit more aggressively and find a better ambush spot with some cover. That pick onto Little Sayonara and the ability and the fact that Navi and Novius will know that the attack is coming north side will allow them to rotate a little bit. I'm not sure how much they will. Navi looks like looking more southwest. Novius. Unable to find the spot where the C4 becomes active. As you can see there, red dot on the C4. However, I believe you can activate it with a H or frag grenade. Novius
I'm gonna go loot.
did just use the frag grenade though. Looking for some of that sweet loot. Ooh, G3, don't see too many of them. And a 5.7. Really don't see many of them used. It's not very often that the secondary comes into play. So spending that extra point on a secondary when it could be a flash grenade is unusual, to say the least. Big flash coming out. Actually not finding anybody. Logic are aware how important this round is. Another pick through the woods by Woods 43 through the wooden fence. That's 3 this round he's killed through a fence. That case just pre-firing a very common spot. Navi unaware of Novius being down, calling out to himself, and then getting picked by 24 Greys. Great repositioning in different line. So I see Woods, I believe, getting... I might be getting my Woods confused. Woods 43 getting 3 kills that round, I believe. Some great picks there. And that means that Bossfight have it more than likely at least tied the match. I believe Dead Logic could get to 6 points if they send the objective on, if they're on 4 points and then send the objective. However, that is unlikely, especially because Bossfight will be very aware of that, and if needed will almost run fairly suicidal type defense. Aggression but objective control type defense. Anyways, but this round, that doesn't matter. This round is one of the more traditional objectives. Northeast objective, red car objective. And maybe more defensible. You often see lane 1 crosses. If you let them cross lane 1, that can be very hard to defend against. Defensive wise, you often see people push out into this lane 2 sort of region. Down into here can work quite well defensive wise. You can get some little tight little lines across through the playground. Get some good tuck-in spots, again looking across this way. Great lines to sort of lock that map in a bit more. And then you often see players on the backside of these houses. Whoa, as the thing goes crazy on me. On the backside of these northern houses, so on the north side of these northern houses, in type ambush type spots there, and then little tucked in spots like this little Hesco, because the Hesco is not penetrable. Good spot here. And another common spot is the one Icy Woods is taking up, again using the concrete rather than the hedges, because it's able to provide that cover rather than just concealment. And just peeking over the top of it, very hard to take that head off, but relatively common. You might see utility use onto that location. Aggressive utility use coming out, smoke coming out, immediately followed by a frag and a knife kill onto Little Sayonara.
Building 5.
In that position we did talk about before the round. However, slightly more pushed out, potentially going one step too far there.
One is on lane, one else.
Icy Woods finding Blackout from that little peak location there. Blackout trying to go behind these hedges, as you see. Trying to get a little peak line through these hedges onto Icy Wood's position. However, Icy Wood very much ready for that and aware of that. One thing to note about Suburbia is there are differences between Quest play and PCVR play on that. Those differences sort of go both ways, and like some of these bushes aren't here on Quest. I believe these hedges are a little bit lower on Quest, just slightly. You can see through them a little bit on PCVR, but they are lower on Quest. However, in the case of those hedges with the bottom like that, you can see through it on PCVR, but not on Quest. As I missed a kill by Dead Logic onto Bossfight, this position here. Archer finding Furious Daddy, but Navi finding Woods 43 in that tucked in position. Oh no, Woods 43 was in a different position. He was in the north behind this location here. Somewhere there. Again, tucked in, just sort of look around the edge of this hedge here. Navi crossing, lane 1 prone, trying to go safely across. Icy Woods position smoked out and flashed out. They are very aware of that position. Archer's going to be a problem. However, Archer goes down with the trade. Table 14 now in position to move on to the objective. Icy Woods being the only one up. But however, coming out of the smoke now, Table 14 is going to have trouble. Table 14 needs to stay alive until Narvilicious gets across and not peek this. They should have a good kill count. There has been a trade. However, it should be called out. Table 14 was right there. Should be able to call out that trade. They have a good kill count. This could be the difference here. There's only one left. It's unlikely Icy Woods has rotated out. However, could have... No! The peak occurring too soon by Table 14 before Narvilicious is across in a position to capitalize on that. Don't believe... No, Icy Woods did not have full objective control from that location. If they did know that Icy Woods was there, again, it's assuming a little bit, but if they did, the movement in from here straight up to the red car would be possible with zero exposure. Icy Woods very much aware of that though, looks like, and moving into position to try and counter that. Navi's still going very slow, potentially unaware of the kill count, sounds like. Problem with, for the attack at least, Icy Wood's position, whilst very exposed to certain angles, is also very unexpected because of that exposure. So it won't be a location which Navi necessarily clears from the north, because of that unexpected factor, and it could pay off really well for Icy Woods here. I think the clock's going to be Navi's enemy, moving slowly from far out rather than rushing the far out movement and then going slow when close within hearing range. Again, it's indicative of not knowing a kill count. You really want to go slow when you're close to the defender so that you've got less audio cues, you're able to clear a bit more methodically. If you're going slow, here it could be. If Woods does his peak he's been doing, this could be it. Oh, Navi managed to get across. Depends how wide Navi goes here. If Navi goes wide enough, should be able to see the backside of Icy Woods. If Navilicious tries to come in close to clear this location, which is where Icy Woods was previously, then I believe Icy Woods should come out on top. Ooh! Icy Woods finding the Hesco instead, giving away position. Navilicious moving for the rotation, the flash potentially coming out. Wow! The unexpected nature of the position potentially being the friend. Didn't look like Navi thought that Icy Woods was there, but rather further back. Great defensive hold. Bossfight have definitely at least tied the match and more than likely won. It is map point, match point, all of the above. Great to see such mature and intelligent discussion in the chat. As I scroll up to see if there's anything other than a polished radar head. Oh, Viper. Playing a dangerous game there with Mama. Sit here and listen to the birds. Hope you can hear it. Or should we go and listen to fire? Get hyped up for this last round. As we jump into it, flames are burning. Defense, antsy to set up. Let's see whether Dead Logic go for a bit more aggression here. Throw it out a little bit, or whether they try and get every point they can and maybe lock it down a little bit more cautious. You can see Bossfight aware of that pre-fire line and all of them going the left side of the house as they come out, or the right side as we're looking at it, just because of that pre-fire line through. Slightly longer route, however, a bit safer. We do see this aggression from Dead Logic coming out, however, looks like Bossfight are ready for it. Navi's going all the way. We'll be hearing the movement by Archer here. Oh, giving away position potentially. Finding
-1.
24 Grey, moving to find Archer. Not going to be ready for Archer's position. Ooh, trying to find Archer through the fence, but not connecting. Doesn't have the same ability to connect as Icy Woods. Or Woods 43? Woods 43. Big rotation here. This should... Ooh, somehow surviving this rotation. Archer may not be ready for this. Archer ready enough though, getting that trade. So, now that that's calmed down a little bit, we have a 3v3. Earliest pick coming from Bossfight, and then a couple from Navilicious, with the last one being a trade with Archer. Icy Woods in the most forward position on lane 1, and then we have two attackers dancing around the south side of this playground, really trying to make sure it's clear. Furious Daddy is going to be ambushy type position. Novius's position is very common, so Icy Woods should try and clear this as crossing. There will be a C4 somewhere more than likely with Novius running this AK-104 iron sight variant. Big rotation. Potentially trying to get behind. Woods 43 in a good supporting position though. Now moved into that. Is there a clacker? I believe not. Can't see it. Maybe given to a different player. Maybe not running a C4 at all. Smoke's coming out. Novius is, again, a very exposed, potentially unexpected position here. Potentially should take a couple of steps back just to use this fence as a little bit of cover. But, yeah, so they suppressed that position. Big pick. Not a confirm, though.
One on lane, one porch.
Little sayonara, aware of the location. Novius again. Just concealment. Frag coming out from... It's a flash. It's a frag, it is a frag. Oh, just taking a deflection off the roof and saving Woods 43's life. The revive should come out into Icy Woods here as well. And very much looking like this will be the end of the map and match. I won't get quite into talking about the match as it has gone because who knows, Furious Daddy could destroy the remaining attackers. However, it is very unlikely.
Must have one in the chamber. Yeah, I got 6 mate, yeah.
Sorry, we're going to come up the road quickly. We've got maximum pressure from lane.
Little sayonara sneaking it around from behind. Zoom over. Going through the playground. Potentially building a sandcastle. Oh, it's not coming up. I believe that says onward on it, on that little flag.
Building 6.
Definitely the thing everyone wants to watch rather than actually see Furious Daddy valiantly try and defend this objective and die. And die. On that note, Woods brothers ending up right next to each other and close in score as well. We have 9 for Navi and 7 for Blackout on Dead Logic side, and then 797 for Archer, Icy Woods, and Woods 43. Alright. Nope, I clicked the wrong button. As I add one more to the score. So, Bossfight versus Dead Logic. Bossfight coming out on top with 5-3-5-1. A lot of close rounds there, certainly on Suburbia, Dead Logic's pick, and also on Quarantine, a couple of rounds which could have gone the other way. A couple of rounds could have been ended a little bit quicker by Bossfight, potentially a cap there. If I were to choose an MVP, which, seeing as there's no one who can object to that, I would choose probably Archer today. That, not sure how many kills on Quarantine, but that pretty individualistic cap there coming out, giving Bossfight 2 points, very, very pivotal. And then the 7 kills on Suburbia also being a great contribution. A cap being 2 points though, that's the equivalent of winning 2 rounds. That's massive. Anyways, I have been your caster today. I've been joined at times by some awkward silence, and it has been really enjoyable doing this. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for everyone for absolutely destroying the chat as I look through it. I basically am unable to answer anything in there because I can't find anything in there. So, right, as we get to the end, I think I'm meant to press some button, but I have no idea. I will stop the stream there, and again, thank you very much for watching. Have a good one.